Good Tuesday morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. We are taking a quick look outside at your sky cam there in Lake Meredith. We are going to see a cold front come through the Texas Panhandle this morning and afternoon. That is going to bring a sharp gradient in temperatures as we go through the rest of the day today. Some of the old timers, again, if this times out well with daytime heating, could be dealing with what we consider those blue norther type cold fronts where you go from short and t-shirt weather to needing that winter coat in just a matter of hours. But this cold front not quite to Lake Meredith just yet. This is about 45 minutes northeast of Amarillo up there in Hutchinson County. You guys still a little on the mild side, especially for this areas between Amarillo and Canadian. That's where those temperatures have been holding in the 40s and low 50s. You can see the fronts dropping those temperatures below freezing up there in Boise City, Guyman, Perryton, and Dalhart. Canadian hasn't come through just yet for you guys, but it is going to be knocking down your door here probably in the very near future, just the next couple of minutes. And Dumas, you guys will be next. That front all the way through Stratford already. 45 here in Amarillo. Winds are from the southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Expecting some windier conditions out in New Mexico today, but this front is not going to have tremendous winds behind it. It's just going to be a sharp drop in temperatures, a quick hitting blow from some Arctic air that came in from up north, but it's not going to last for very long. You can see wind chills down into the teens up there in Boise City. Wind advisories in effect at 8 o'clock this morning Mountain Standard Time, or 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. rather, here in the Texas Panhandle, and then 6 p.m. is when that expires out there in New Mexico for Quay, Curry, and Roosevelt County. That's where the winds could gust between 45 and 55 miles per hour today. We won't be that windy here in the Texas Panhandle, but still going to be windy even for our standards, seeing them gust probably around 35 to 45 miles per hour for most of the area. But the winds will shift over to the north once that front blows through. Again, rapid drop in temperatures. In a matter of probably 3 hours, we go from probably 57 for that high here in Amarillo to 37 by the time you're driving home for work around 5, 6 o'clock this evening. Wind chills will be down into the 20s during that evening drive home at probably 6 o'clock. So it is going to be cold after that front rolls through. Here's kind of how we're playing the day out for right now. This front could get here sooner than normal or than expected. That happens pretty often here. We're on a slope, so all that cold air is pretty dense. It sinks pretty fast, and it races down to the south side of Texas very quickly. So right now we've got the front coming through around 2 o'clock. It could get here earlier than that if it doesn't stall out this morning, which there are some concerns that may happen, and that it gets here at 10 a.m. this morning. But we think currently it may stall out, or at least slow down. Probably won't stall, but it's going to slow down, and then we'll see those temperatures fall pretty quick behind it from the 50s to the 30s in 4 hours. Let's put your computer model into motion. It also thinking that this will stall out by the time that we kind of see that sun come up and then knocking down our door in Amarillo around 4 p.m. I still think that's a little too late for it. It's probably going to be around 2 o'clock rather than 4. And then by tomorrow morning, dealing with some very frigid temperatures here in the Texas Panhandle and the high plains, most of us in the teens and 20s with wind chills in the teens and single digits. It's going to be a chilly Wednesday to wrap up the month of November for us. We'll have highs limited to the 40s, but we do warm up later this week. In fact, we may actually see highs in the 70s by Friday afternoon before our next cold front comes crashing through. Hey, Sharon, Woodrow, and thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Here's your wind chill forecast. 6 o'clock, probably feeling like 28 degrees here in Amarillo, and then we'll see those wind chills dip into the teens and single digits by tomorrow morning. You'll want to dress in layers if you spend time outside. We warm up into the wind chills in the 30s by the afternoon. Probably another cold morning on Thursday, but after that, all that cold air kind of gets filtered out of here. We get some return flow from the south and southwest, and that's what's going to help us warm up to probably the low 70s by Friday. The Climate Prediction Center keeping us in a 40% chance at having above average temperatures between December 4th and December 8th. I think that's pretty well on track and par for the course. What I kind of disagree with is we don't really have a tremendous amount of active weather coming through in regards to our precipitation chances. We have a very narrow window over the weekend where some of us may see some stratiform rain showers come across the area once that second front comes through Friday evening, so kind of Saturday and into Sunday morning. I do think that front's probably going to dive further south, and so that would take some of that stratiform rain with it closer to maybe Lubbock and Childress rather than us here in Amarillo. The Climate Prediction Center does give us a near normal chance for precipitation between the 4th and the 8th. I just don't completely buy that for right now. That trough in the western U.S. probably going to be displaced too far away from us to benefit from that in terms of seeing any active lows come out of the Rockies for us to see any rain chances with that. And that cold front probably not going to set off any rain showers until it gets out of the Texas Panhandle. So I think we're quiet rain-wise and snow-wise until we probably get into the middle of the month of December. After that, we may see that big trough in the west dig far enough south where we may see a little bit more active weather then, but that's probably not until at the earliest, probably the 14th or the 15th of December. Until then, we're just dealing with dry fronts and a roller coaster ride in those temperatures. Here's your highs for today. We've got you at 57 for right now in Amarillo. If the front continues to crash south, that's going to be way too high for us. Probably dealing with some lower 50s for highs then. 30s for the Oklahoma Panhandle and 60s further south. Lows tonight, this Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, teens and 20s as you step out the front door around 6, 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be frigid, feeling bitter cold out there. You'll want to bundle up if you spend time outside. We're in the 50s on Thursday. Friday, back into the low 70s, but we get these very consistent and periodic fronts every 3 days or so. So we get one today, one Friday night, another one early next week. And that's really the only next notable weather makers for us are those dry fronts coming in and out of the area. But it's, again, just going to be kind of a roller coaster ride. If you from the 50s today to the 40s tomorrow to the 70s Friday, back to the 50s Saturday, and then up into the 60s early next week before that third front will again bring us back down to some more cooler weather. But the overall trend, I think, is generally the average temperature should be a little bit warmer than normal in that first week of December for us. But looking a little bit further out, can't go into too many specifics, but does look like we may see a little bit better chances for active weather closer to the middle of the month or maybe closer to Christmas. But we're pushing about a month out at that point, so you can't really go into detailed forecasting in regards to that just because that's too far. That's in wish casting land, or in la la land, it's like we like to call it here. It's Storm Surge 7. But that is all I've got for you guys. Have a great day. We'll have your next update at 11:30. If you don't tune in then, I'll see you tomorrow morning.